of information. And these days, Google's taken a lot of heat, especially over in Europe, for alleged algorithm manipulation. Is this nefarious stuff or simply what the market allows and will bear?
I mean, I think it's the world where people want value, and the positive side of that is the more they can personalize what you're looking for, they're simplifying your life, they're bringing you things you want. Let's look at Google in three things. One, it put the world within arm's reach of desire. All the knowledge, all the shopping. Second thing it did is it let Davids take down Goliath. Until Google came along and YouTube, if you were a performer, you had to hope for a shot in Ed Sullivan or Johnny Carson. Now you had YouTube. Same thing happens with small business. Instead of outshouting the big guys, suddenly I could build a voice with local search, local marketing. So it gave people a chance that scale no longer mattered because they allowed you to connect with the people that mattered most to you. Now, of course, privacy is going to be an issue because the more that we surrender our souls on the web, the more people know about us. But in the right hands, I think it brings you incredible value, personalization, and obviously if it gets hacked and it's in the wrong hands, the danger is that you've opened your kimono to people that you certainly don't want to show that part of your side of your life.
They're taking a lot of heat, though, for an algorithm that pushes their stuff, the stuff they want to sell, page one. Like, for example, when's the last time you went to page 4 or 5 or 6 on Google?
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time.
But that's what paid search is for. That's how they monetize their business, is they allow you to get front of the line. If you're in a grocery store, if you think that display is by accident, a Coke or Pepsi pays for that display because that's where all the traffic goes. So, you know, that's just commerce and capitalism. When you get people on the other side going, well, that's bad business, you lead with the best headlines because you want the audience.
You know, their motto, "Don't be cruel," was actually removed this past May. Does that say anything to you?
Yeah, I think, you know, we're dealing in a world where it's so easy now. There's so much anarchy on the web. People are these army of Davids, these social media slingshots. That if you lead with something like that, you're only inviting those people, the trolls out there, to take advantage of that and spin it back in your face. So sadly, though, we have to become very oatmeal in terms of their positioning out there.
Is Google vulnerable to disruption as it goes forward, or are they just too big to fool?
They got a big snowball. It'd be a tough one to disrupt. I mean, we're never going to see another Facebook. We're never going to see another Google. In terms of the mass responding, it's going to become much more fringe. But if you see what happened to Facebook, kind of moving to Instagram, what Google has to do is, as we move continually on mobile, is make sure they continue to protect their mobile search the way they always had the computer search.
Well, is that, you know, acquisitions, mergers, partnerships, that's really characterized them since they went public in 2004. Yeah, YouTube, Android, Motorola. You know, you can't spell global without Google, right? Is this a trend for them?
It is. I mean, you always look at the Android phone, and the mobile is the only thing that's come up against Apple. Sidewalk City in Toronto, yeah. They have 600 engineers now working in Waterloo. So they're not just betting on today, they're investing in tomorrow. But what I got to give them full kudos for, a lot of these multinationals treat us like a branch plant that they just dump the goods in and we buy it. Yeah. Google's at least investing aggressively in Canada, and they consider some of our engineers, especially people that come out of Waterloo, among the best in the world. So you know what, I give them credit. They're not just taking them and bringing them down to Silicon Valley. They're starting to consider Canada one of the big tech hubs of the world, places around Toronto, obviously what we're seeing in Winnipeg, what we're seeing out in Vancouver, and Halifax even, incredible tech centers.
Are we naive, though, to expect that they have to have a strong social conscience and moral compass versus a moral, I mean, it's not necessarily their business.
I think in this world of transparency, if they don't, they'll get called out. The danger, and again, is a moral compass according to who. So if you say to them, my job is to learn as much information as I can on you to serve up the things that matter most to you, is actually a great consumer proposition for most. Some other people go, well, the more you do that about me, the more you know about me. So it's a question of what side of the fence are you on as a consumer. The millennials coming along saying, you can have this because I like what you give back. And I think that's what we have to do as a society, going, where did we draw the line on privacy? And at least I think what we're seeing both with government and initiatives from Google, even Facebook, they're starting to say you are more in control than you've ever been in terms of what you're willing to surrender.
The mark is, can't remember life before Google.
It's only 20 years, and you can't, I mean, this is a game changer that was no different than internal combustion engine and electricity. I mean, people will go back and talk about this company like we talk about some others that have absolutely changed, for mostly a positive reason, our life and livelihood.
Great chat, Tony. Thank you.